Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome aboard. It's the special edition, the Saturday edition of Scott and Scott as we head back to the window. I am your host, Scott Steen, lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com.
I'm your co-host, Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over winnersandwhiners.com.
And together we show up here every single day except Sunday because it's the Lord's Day, but we do it 6 days a week, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, right here on the YouTubes, the Twitter, the Twitch, or perhaps Facebook Live. However you like to consume your live media, we're there. So thanks for stopping by and checking us out. We got a couple people here. That's right. We're going to talk a little NFL today. This is the NFL version, week 15, COVID-19, Brown 0.
Yeah, we actually have to have a brief discussion because we didn't do it before we ended up going live. We're not covering the new Monday and Tuesday games, right?
Correct. We are covering, as is the tradition of this show, we cover just the Sunday games, including the Sunday night game, but we don't cover Monday and we don't cover Tuesday or Wednesday games, however that may be. Right now, we've just got a Tuesday game scheduled, so no Wednesday games as of yet. We'll see how all that shakes out. Scott, I told you, I texted you yesterday. I thought it was about plus 180 that they would pull the plug on the whole NFL weekend, bump everything back a week, and just call this one a wash. But they did not do that so far. Everything is still in place to play the games on Sunday night, including the Saturday night game. Have we talked about that game? Have we talked about tonight's game? We're going to hit that one, right? We're going to hit this.
I feel like we should. I mean, The issue we had going in for the NFL show would have been trying to give an early breakdown of the Browns-Raiders game. But of course, that's no longer an issue. So we still have, about 4.5 hours until that Patriots-Colts game starts. So, yeah, we can go through it.
So, yeah, we'll talk about that. Pretty much consensus 2.5, 45 there. Okay, very good. Let's talk about how we did last week while I'm filling in the blanks on this Patriots game. Once again, welcome everybody that's watching this live. Of course, I know most of you will be checking this out later on recording. I want to remind you to catch all of Scott and I's bowl picks. We did a video for each and every bowl game, well, at least so far. So check those out. We'll have them up about 48 hours in advance is kind of what we're shooting for, somewhere in the two days in advance of the actual bowl game to give us our best shot at knowing who's opting out, who's opting in, who's injured, and who perhaps is having an outbreak of the virus. So
pretty sure I've split every bowl game so far.
I was cold yesterday, but I hit the right side of the early game with Western Kentucky. You were on App State there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was leaning App State just because I thought that they would be able to run the ball well, and the pass defense was overall pretty good. But, we got more farmland, so I guess that's the silver lining because we got the over there.
We did. We did. I think that's 11-1 on our last dozen. Farm.
Yep.
So that's a nice run for sure. And we'll talk about how we did last week in the NFL. Scott, you had the Detroit Lions team total under 16.5. How many weeks do you need to get to 16.5 if you're the Lions, Scott?
Well, they got to 10 in the second quarter, and then I'm like, oh, wait a second, don't worry about it. It's the Lions in the red zone, and they just didn't score any more points.
Yep, that was it. So you certainly hit that one, and I had what has become a very, very solid bet over the last 6 or 7 weeks of the season, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs in the first quarter. I believe they have now, I don't know how many games this covered, but I know they have outscored their opponents 70-3 in the first quarter over the last, I don't know how many games. Probably 6 or 7. So,
well, that was the maneuver that I had earlier in the year. I was just fading the Jets in the first quarter. You're just backing the best first quarter team in the league. The same idea.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Same idea, only in reverse. So that brings my yearly record to 8-4-1 on our best NFL picks. And you, sir, have pulled to 500 once again.
Let's go.
Keeping yourself 2 games behind me, but within theoretical striking distance, as we have 4 weeks left, counting this week, right?
I believe so, yeah. Well, are we going to continue the show for the playoffs? I doubt it, right?
Playoffs?
Talk about the playoffs? You kidding me? I just hope we can win a game. But I'm assuming we're going to do actual just videos on the NFL, but I don't know. What is our plan for the playoffs?
I don't know. We'll probably do like a special playoff show, but
Okay.
much like our college breakdowns, the record, of course, is just for regular season only. So we
That's
didn't
what I figured.
count our bowl games towards our season total. I gave you the putt. I gave you your 2-footer and said, yeah, it's a winner. So.
Well, I appreciate it. But speaking of two-footers, by the way, I saw Tiger taking some shots today.
How do you look? I saw he was out there. I haven't had an opportunity to see how he played.
Tiger admitted in an interview a couple weeks ago he can play occasionally. The power's not even close to being there, and it probably never will be. But it's really just nice to see him walking.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure he feels the same way after obviously a horrific accident and lots of rehab and stuff like that. Ninja and Hizzy, what's up, buddy? Good to have you.
How much would you actually pay, by the way, to see Tiger play live? Is there like a certain figure that you'd pay just to say I saw Tiger?
Oh, I don't know, a couple $100. If I could be like right close to him, like walk the course with him.
Yeah, in the gallery.
Well, in the gallery or close to it, because if I'm in the bleachers at the 17th hole as Tiger plays it, $100. Now, if I can walk the course with Tiger and be right there in the first couple rows as he takes every swing, $500.
Okay, that's fair.
So, all right, fair enough. Have you ever seen Steph Curry?
We're stalling a little bit because this video is going to be a lot shorter since about 4 games got moved. Yeah. We got more time than we can kill. But
yep. Jay Boyer in the house. Good to have Jay here as well. Ninja and Jay got a few people watching. So yeah, we'll get rocking and rolling. I would be remiss if I didn't bitch about the biggest problem in my life as far as my sports go right now. And that is the fact that I have YouTube TV for a streaming service, Scott, and they couldn't work out a deal with Disney. So as of midnight last night Eastern time, I got no ESPN. My ESPN apps don't work because, of course, that's all driven off of your provider and everything like that. So I was driven to fucking drastic measures. I had to do doing the week-long.
I was going to guess you read a book.
Easy. Let's not get carried away.
Easy? That's a little too crazy?
No, I've always got a couple books going, man. I'm a reader. But I've had to get Fubo TV for us by others, apparently. I've got a week-long trial with that, and hopefully they'll get it worked out with ESPN and YouTube in that week-long time. If not, I'll get another trial with somebody else for another week and see if I'll give them a couple weeks to work it out. I'll keep playing this game as long as I can. So I do have ESPN again, but it is under protest. What the fuck? You can't work this out. Come on, Scott. Do you think it's a tactic by Disney, who also owns Hulu, which bundles together with ESPN Plus and Disney, which happen to be the things that are not available right now on YouTube TV? Do you think it's a strong arm tactic to drive more people to Hulu Plus?
Okay, hang on a second. So it's Disney. Carry the 7. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it really does.
There's a lot of layers to that I had to unpack there for a second.
I know. It seems, God forbid there'd be some kind of conspiracy or something going on that would seem untoward. But yeah, I think I'm always suspicious. So anyway.
By the way, Tony, I got good and bad news for you. The good news is that you won money today. The bad news is that might make Kim want to go shopping more because you did win the farm play with us. So you're welcome, but also sorry if you get dragged to go on a shopping spree.
See, that's T-Train, and that's why I'm guessing that's why he's on Facebook, because he's out and about with Kim. He's out there holding the bags. You're fucking holding the bags, aren't you, buddy? Don't lie.
You're telling Kim you made extra money today, and she already knew where her mind was going, right to the mall.
So, Scott, I'm very disappointed in you. I know you're a big drive prop guy. There is no more of a lock than Western Kentucky to score a touchdown on every drive. How'd you do today on Western Kentucky? When did you start betting those?
I started betting those. I missed the entire first half, so that wasn't a fun time. I believe I missed 50-something points in there.
Would they put up 6 touchdowns in the first half?
Yeah, I took a couple in the third quarter, and I think I split on those. And then I actually jumped in play with Appalachian State, like plus 18.5, plus 19.5 or something. Oh, they didn't get there. No, Bryce is just not a very good quarterback, but I figured at some point Western Kentucky would dare run the ball because they're up 3 touchdowns, and they did. They were just averaging 10 yards a carry every time they ran the ball. It was just ridiculous. But yeah, definitely a fun game. That's what it is.
App State was a little shell shocked. Tony said trains don't do shopping sprees. I took a flyer on App State. How'd that work out? Yeah, Scott had App State as well. I ride or die. I gave him one more shot for old time's sake with Western Kentucky. Kind of payback for all the money they've.
My favorite play was the over, so that was also just never in doubt. But it is what it is.
Very solid. All right, bud. Let's get rocking and rolling. We do have a game tonight. That is going to be the New England Patriots as they travel to the Circle City, take on the.
Actually, hang on a quick second.
Yes?
Tony, I don't know if you bet it yet, but Hall is not playing. So BYU's using Romney. They're using a backup quarterback. So I like BYU too. They switch quarterbacks. So if you don't know that, there's just a quick piece of information for you. Sorry, you can carry on. That was just important to mention.
Well, that was a big play for me today. So
yeah.
And again, I'm running behind because I've been fucking with the TV. So Erica says, in need of an NBA over and an NHL pick. Can you help me out?
Oh boy. I did the UFC video, so people, I guess, got annoyed I didn't pick a sport with a ball in it. So I'm gonna have to actually find something.
It is technically the NFL show, but you know what? We don't have a ton of games. We love our viewers. Scott, we got kind of a short card tonight. Knowing what you know about who's in and who's out, I know Giannis is out.
I don't like any overs in the NBA today. This card's awful. What are you supposed to like in this card? I mean, I like Cleveland. I like Cleveland -3. Does that count? It's not an over, but I like Cleveland.
Yeah, I think that's probably of course Durant's out for Brooklyn, but fuck, it's Orlando.
Durant's out. Kyrie came back just to enter protocol. Good times.
Was that an automatic thing? I haven't read. I just saw the headline come across. I haven't read in depth. Is that just an automatic thing since he's unvaccinated? He has to be a certain period of time before he can rejoin the team, or was he actually exposed to the virus and now he's in quarantine?
I have no idea. I know the Nets had an outbreak, so I'm assuming if he ended up giving Durant a hug and Durant ended up on protocol,
right,
then he's automatically in protocol. So that's kind of how that goes.
Hey, Carrot's in the house. Good to see Alan here, buddy. He's doing the pirate thing this week. So okay, so an over. No. Maybe Golden State, Toronto.
I don't mind Orlando team total over, but you're really stretching it thin at that point. Like, there's really nothing here, but I'm looking at maybe a team total for Orlando just because Brooklyn's missing so many guys that I do think Orlando could score against this unit. But let's just say it isn't pretty.
I would think Carrot says the Magic will go over. Book it. Carrot, of course, his specialty is soccer. So, but no, he's been doing well in basketball. So we'll see.
All right. Anyway, sorry, it's been 14 minutes, but figure we'll wait for some people to get in.
Cleveland's my favorite play. Okay, let's talk NFL because we've got people here that are looking for NFL picks. Scott, let's talk about this New England and Indianapolis game tonight. Huge game.
Huge line move.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. What have you seen this week as far as the line moves go?
Well, I know it opened up at around Pick'em or Indy -1. Now it's up to 2.5. I'll tell you right now, Damian Harris, a good player. He's not worth 1.5 points. So I can tell you that it's a lot of sharp money coming in on Indy because I am curious why the public would be fading a team that's won, 7 in a row? They've covered 7 in a row, I believe.
Yep.
For New England.
One and covered 7 straight, correct.
So this is the tricky spot because on one hand, New England's been a cash cow, and you want to immediately back them because they're getting points with Belichick, and we've seen this movie before. It's the same ending every time. You've just seen the movie before.
Is it the same as like when you fade Saban? You go, well, this is the year they fall.
It feels like
you and I fell into that trap with Georgia. Is this a similar type of situation here?
It feels like it. If you especially think Frank Reich's going to do some stupid stuff in the red zone, which he's known to do. So if you see a couple of 4-and-outs inside of the 5-yard line in New England, that could be all you need, kind of like what we saw from Staley in the Thursday night game. Because we know Frank might be a pretty Reich might be a pretty good coach in the red zone. He's a mess. for whatever reason. It just doesn't work in the red zone for him. I'm going to go with Indy. I'm going to do it. I always mention whether it's in college basketball or whether it's in college football to take the unranked team that's favored over the ranked team. This really seems like one of those spots in the NFL where New England is just the better team at this point, but Indy's favored. And I feel like it's the same exact trap situation that I'm used to seeing in college football. I'm going to trust my theory or my formula, so to speak, which actually did pretty well in college football. Give me the Colts. I feel like this line is pretty
NFL,
telling.
by the way.
It is. I know. It is the NFL, of course. But do you understand where I'm going with this? I really feel like it's one of those spots where the public is just being dared to take New England, and I'm just going to take Indy. You?
Okay. I'm falling into the trap, buddy. I've got my banana out. I'm getting ready to stick it right in the tailpipe. T-Train says he likes Stevenson better than Harris. I know Stevenson's been hotter lately for sure. I don't know how much that has to do with Harris being banged up, but
I don't know if he's better. It's definitely a coin flip. I don't think that New England will lose as much besides depth because now your change of pace guy is going to be Bolden instead of Stevenson. Right. So you're moving everybody one spot down.
But Belichick has made a career out of just plugging guys in. You can remember some of those games with Brady when they had, no receivers. Just everybody was hurt.
You mean the Jonas Gray game?
Yeah, well, whatever. Just pick
Cyrus Gray game, whatever.
Dorian Gray. Yeah. So who needs this game more, Scott? Who do the Colts? Obviously, they need it to stay in the playoff hunt, but New England needs this to maintain their grip on the number 1 seed, which is obviously very important here. With the added bye, only one team gets the bye. So I mean, with the added playoff team, so one team gets the bye right now. If New England wins, it'll be them. If they don't, it'll be the Chiefs, and New England will be in a dogfight with the Titans. So who needs this game more? And does it matter? Is that a thing? We talk about this all the time.
Well, I'll answer your question. I think the Colts need it more because New England's pretty much clinched a playoff spot already. But I don't buy that narrative. I think that with New England playing the way that it's currently playing and the fact that Kansas City already won on Thursday, so Kansas City has a half-game lead in the 1 seed race, I do think it's a very important game, especially since the 2 seed no longer gets a bye in the NFL playoffs. So I'm not buying into the motivation angle because both teams should be motivated. But to answer your question anyway, technically the Colts should be more motivated at home.
Okay. And my question is, and we talk about this a lot, and the numbers don't bear it out. Does it matter? It's a must win. They have to have this one.
I don't think it matters for the motivation. I think what matters is the fact that Indianapolis has a great offensive line, and the fact is you're playing in a dome, so you're not playing in bad weather. And I do think that's a very solid equalizer for the Colts because we know in Foxborough, you delay whatever number is with the Patriots and you probably have a good time. But indoors in Lucas Oil, I do think Taylor will have some success. Wentz, of course, is going to be a wild card, but I do have questions if Mac Jones can actually win you games if your ground game doesn't get itself going. I'll hold my nose and pick the Colts mostly because I do think the line is very, very trappy. So I'm not going to fall for it.
Okay, very good. And I'm going to go the other way. This comes down to one question. It really does. Can New England stop Jonathan Taylor?
Oh, I was going to say if Carson Wentz is going to be good or not, which is basically the same question, just phrased differently.
Yeah, if you think New England's run defense is the real deal, then you've got to back New England here. If you think they're a fraud who was shown up for 270 yards against the Titans without Derrick Henry by the bye, then you've got to back the Colts here. And I lean towards that was an aberration game. They busted off a couple of very long runs. Tannehill had some yards. They still got their ass kicked in that game, did the Titans. So I believe that the New England run defense is the real deal. I think they'll be able to at least slow down Jonathan Taylor. He's obviously the best running back in the country right now as far as pros go. I don't think there's any question about it. So,
well, when healthy, you can make a Henry argument, but because Henry's on pace for what 3,000 yards?
Yeah, no, I'm talking
like 6 weeks. Right now,
well, yeah. You know what? I saw the carries. They put up the carries for running backs last week. Henry was still in third place.
Yep.
That was just, I forgot to say something about that. That was just phenomenal to me. Like, how is that even possible?
I like the under in the game. I'm expecting an ugly game. I know usually for Thursday night football, as I always say, bet the under, take a nap. Of course, if you took a nap during this past Thursday night game, I don't know what's wrong with you because that was supposed to be the only good Thursday night game of the year, besides the Dallas and Tampa season opener. But I got to look at the under. You're looking at a spot where I do think New England, worst case scenario, plays time control football, and so do the Colts. The Colts aren't exactly a quick strike offense either. I see a lot of handoffs, a lot of milking the clock, and I do think you might see a lot of long drives result in some field goals, and that's how you kill an over. So I'm going to go with the under. I think you'll see a very, very close, I'd say 2017 game or 23-20 game. But yeah, I'm really, really threading the needle there with Colts minus 2.5. I think it's a 3-point game.
All right. I think there's going to be a little more offense than we think. I think they're going to have to throw the ball a little bit more. Mac Jones, third in the NFL in completion percentage. However, he's a guy that doesn't throw over the middle. He throws out routes.
I think you're going to say more than 10 yards, but that works too.
He throws a lot of slants, throws a lot of passes to the running backs. So he's a guy. Can he throw over the middle? Don't know. Belichick really hasn't let him do that yet. I think both of these quarterbacks are going to have to step up. I think I'm going to fade you all the way across on this game. I'm going to play the over here. We definitely have some disagreement in the comment section. Jay likes the Colts is going to feel like a playoff game. I do agree with that. I think those fans will be fired up in Indy for sure.
I am curious, since the AFC wildcard race is very tough, if Indy loses this game, of course they're not fully dead in the standings. Are they, for all intents and purposes, dead to rights at that point? I know New England's a tough opponent, but this is if they lose this game, it might just be curtains. They'd have to run the table moving forward.
I just started looking at everybody's schedules yesterday and who had what left. I didn't get the Indies yet, so I don't know to speak on that about what they've got left and how it stacks up. But it's not ideal. It's not where you want to be because you've got a real roadblock there at the 7-6, 7-7 mark. You've got Denver at 7-6. You got the Chargers at 8-6. You got the Browns, the Cincinnati Bengals at 7-6. You got the Steelers 6-6.
I have the schedule. I have the schedule in front of me. They play New England. They play at Arizona. Home against the Raiders, at Jacksonville. So they should win the last 2 weeks.
2-1.
The Cardinals one's tricky on the road on Saturday Night Football. They're playing back-to-back Saturdays? Okay, sure. But yeah, they're playing on Christmas. But the point is that with Arizona on deck, that's not a guaranteed win by any stretch of the imagination. It's a pretty tough situation they're in.
Very good. Ninja says Patriots in the over. He trains back. He says, "No, I'm a fucking train again."
Welcome back, Train.
So here's the deal. We need to pick up the pace, or
let's do it.
It's going to be about a 3-hour show. All right. This one shouldn't be nearly as interesting. A lot of the games aren't going to be nearly as interesting as that one is.
It's a really awful NFL card, which I feel like we've said every week for the last 3 weeks.
Other than the Ravens Cowboys, we've really after tonight we've played two of the three good games this weekend with the Chiefs and then the Colts. Panthers, Bills laying 13-44. Fuck me. Okay, so let's start by who's out. I guess that's what we should be doing.
Who's the quarterback for Carolina? Because I know that they activated Darnold to start doing practice and everything, but I'm assuming he's not going to be ready for this game. Are they just rolling out Newton again?
I think they're going to have to, aren't they?
I think they have to.
Didn't they get hit? So
everybody got hit.
I've got Darnold out on this one.
Yeah, I'm saying he's officially off the IR, but he's not playing this week. So I'm assuming you're going to roll with some rotation between Walker and Newton again. Worked really well against Atlanta's defense, by the way. Combined QBR of 50. I got to go with the Bills. This team's a pain in the ass, but if you think I'm taking Cam Newton against this team, you're out of your mind. The Bills should move the ball. I don't think Carolina really does anything. Give me the under.
Okay. Looks like the Bills are in pretty good shape as far as COVID goes. Josh Allen's going to be able to go. He had a toe problem, of course. Deion Dawkins missing their tackle with COVID. He's questionable, by the way. Emmanuel Sanders is out. Klein's out. Tre'Davious White. We talked about that yesterday. That's a huge blow for that defensive backfield of Buffalo.
It's not good, but Buffalo proved last week it could hang with arguably the Super Bowl favorite. I know, had to make a furious comeback and they lost the game. Carolina's not a good team. Newton's not any good.
No, we talk all the time. I like Cam as a guy, as a dude. I wished him well, but it was
He
over.
shouldn't be in the league.
It was over
It
last year.
is what it is.
Yep, Cam is starting, says Scott. Yep, we had to figure that's the only option there. I hate both these teams. Both these teams have been nothing but abject disappointments to me.
I like Carolina team total under if you're looking for my favorite play on the game, but for a spread and total, give me Buffalo in the under.
Yeah. Panthers can't score, bud. Yeah, I got to go with you. I hate laying believe me, I hate laying 13 in a game with the total's 44.
I think it's also pretty telling Buffalo's laying 13, even though they've looked very underwhelming for the last month.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely true. I just don't see the Panthers being able to do anything at all there, especially on the road. Jets, Dolphins. Dolphins 9.5. 41. It's your Jets total there.
I've had a good read on the Jets this year, mostly because I fade them every week, but I've had a pretty good read up to this point. I actually think this game's going to be close for some reason. I don't know why, but I feel like it's going to be close. I'm taking the Jets plus the points.
Okay.
I have a hard time laying this amount of points with Miami. I know Tua has been better lately. We've seen NFL teams off the bye this past year, though. Awful off the bye this season. So I might just back that trend. It's still a division game. I don't expect many points. And if you're expecting a very low-scoring game, which is what we should get, I have a hard time laying 9.5 here with Miami. Give me the Jets plus the points in the under.
Yeah, Miami covered 6.5 against the Giants last week, but as a whole,
2 weeks ago, I think,
or two. Yeah, that's right. They had the bye. Sorry. I'm not laying 9.5 with the Dolphins. If they win, you tip your cap and you go, you know what, God bless you. But I'm with you.
The running backs are back though, right? I know like half the running backs were in protocol, but I'm pretty sure Gaskin was activated again, so I don't think that's a big deal anymore.
I saw that come across. Let me check here. I need to. My rhythm's off, but I'm
Devontae Parker's healthy for once. Does that count for something? He might get injured in the first quarter, but he's technically healthy for the start of the game.
He's dead to me. He was on my fantasy team. He's dead to me.
Okay, fair enough. But I'm going to take the Jets in the under. Low-scoring game, whatever.
Okay. So we've got, looks like the Jets, well, Scott, for all their problems, they don't have a COVID outbreak.
That's the plus.
I'm not sure who's going to catch the ball for the Jets without Davis or Moore, but that'll be interesting.
They got nobody, happens.
What's that?
Jamison Crowder. It happens, You just run out of players.
I always forget about Crowder because he's been hurt so much. So the Dolphins are going to be without Lindsey, without Jalen Waddle, without Javon Holland. That's fair.
Well, Waddle being out is huge. I mean, he's clearly the best receiver.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading COVID-19. He's questionable. He's not confirmed out yet. So, and that's the only other COVID. Miles Gaskin is listed as probable. Yes, that is your answer.
Tua's been okay lately, but he never throws the ball down the field. It's like watching Mac Jones.
Scott, just like we did a couple weeks ago, we go back to back with your favorite teams. Scott says Tua is not the answer in Miami. I like the Jets too. Well, if all the rumors about Miami being interested in Deshaun Watson were true, then they recognize that Tua is not the answer down there either. He certainly hasn't done anything to take that next step and show that he may be the answer this season. I think
I'll tell you what, though, he has improved this season, and I'll give him props for that.
Okay. Yes, he's not as bad as he was. So we'll see if
that's my silver lining. That's my silver lining for Tua. I would never want him as my starting quarterback, but he has been better as the season has gone on.
Okay.
But you mentioned the Cowboys Giants. Cowboys laying a big number.
Yeah, they are. I've got the Cowboys
11
minus 11.5, 44.5 is the total up there in the Meadowlands. Giants, bad football team, Scott, indeed. But are they this bad?
I'm taking the Giants in the under. It's a spot where I can't lay this with Dallas. I know that Dallas is a team that's winning the division, and they have a great defensive line now because everybody's healthy again. The issue is Dak Prescott, and he's been awful the last 2 weeks. There's really no way around it. Elliott's still banged up. Howard's banged up now. You're looking at a situation where the Giants aren't a good team, but I do think they'll hang around the games in MetLife. Do I really want to lay 11.5 with a Cowboys team that almost choked away a massive lead against a COVID-riddled Washington team. Not really. So I'm gonna go with New York plus the points.
Okay. Rick Rick said this is how I acted in class too. Yes. Yes, I know it's hard to believe, but I was always the one being sent to the office because I was trying to make people laugh. It's
a division game with, just all of the underwhelming offensive performances for Dallas the last couple of weeks. I can't lay 11.5 here.
what do you
I
go
can't.
somewhere to be? You just don't let me go off on any of my little side trips at all?
I can't. Well,
You
you
don't
said we're running behind. I'm trying to keep you on pace.
I'm going the other way. I'm going the other way in this one. I just this Giants team, for whatever reason, can't run the football with Saquon Barkley. No Daniel Jones. No. I know the Cowboys are certainly a team with issues, but I can't do it. I can't. No, just no. As far as the total goes, I can't count on anything from the Giants, Scott. Nothing at all. I got the under there as well. I think the Cowboys could win by 30, and that still won't go over.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up on our board is the Packers and the Ravens. Packers road favorite. This is one of the more curious lines of the week. Packers
Is
road.
Lamar playing? I think he is. Nobody knows.
Let me check here. I got it up. Giants have stung them many times. Absolutely true, Jay.
I mean, that's true when Eli was quarterback. I mean, the last couple of years have kind of been one-sided, underratedly.
Rick says
but
the
you're not wrong.
best strategy is to ignore me. I believe that's in my wife's wedding vows, to love, honor, and probably ignore him quite a bit. Lamar is questionable with that ankle. Unlike last year, they've been relatively healthy, knock on wood, with COVID. They got Chuck Clark questionable. Their center, Colon Castillo, is questionable as well. Calais Campbell's doubtful. That's huge. Yeah, okay.
Green Bay looks like the easiest play on the card. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm expecting Lamar to play. I do think he'll be, 70%, 60%? Like, he's not going to look anywhere near as good as he usually does. What is there to like about this Ravens team if Lamar's less than 100%? The defense isn't very good secondary-wise. You got Rodgers on one side. This looks like the odds are off. Green Bay should be favored by, in my opinion, more than a touchdown.
Well, Sam, I would go the other way. I think you've got a team that certainly has cachet. They're the top team in the AFC North. They play good defense. They're at home. To me, the fact that somebody is favored by a touchdown over Baltimore as a road team, I think that's a very curious line. I think that line on the surface seems high. So you and I have a
but you just said that Campbell's out and Lamar's less than 100%. So if Campbell's out and Lamar's out, or Lamar might just be playing but not well because of the injury, what is there to like about Baltimore this week?
Yeah, I know. I realize that, and I know their defensive stats are not what they've been in the past, and that defense has not been a great football team at all.
And Humphrey's out for the year, so their secondary shot.
Yeah. Well, everybody's out in the secondary.
Yeah.
But, no, where's the Dallas t-shirt? I don't have to wear it every week. I just wore it once. We may do another bet. We may do another bet, and I'll trot it out. But no, just and shirtmas continued. I can't wait to show you what I got today for this shirt from my wife. So anyway, I think it's one of those things where I think it's too low. I think they're trying to trick us. I'm taking the Cowboys, but for a different reason than you are, Scott. I think they're trying to give us the okey doke there.
Well, that's good to know because we're talking about the Green Bay game.
Oh, sorry. For whatever reason I had the Cowboys written down twice. Yes, the Packers. As far as the total goes,
I'm going with the over.
Yeah.
It's a tough call, but I really think Green Bay is going to do whatever it wants in the passing game against this defense.
Yeah, and I think
who's going to guard Devontae Adams? They're going to have anybody.
They're going to be forced to throw the ball. Baltimore is going to be forced to throw the ball to win, and that's going to end one of two ways. And
they still have weapons. Andrews is still there. Bateman's been okay. They still got Marquise Brown. They got some options there. I think they can move the ball a little bit, but you're just looking at all the receivers Green Bay has and how Rodgers is playing. I just don't know how Baltimore's going to get a stop.
That's fair enough. Rick says they're begging you to take the Packers.
I think they are, but I just don't understand the line. I think it should be higher.
See, I think it should be, and I think it. Yeah. Anyway, you and I think oppositely about the line, but you are falling for the trap. I'm being smarter than they are, but we're both landing on the same team. So we'll see.
Yeah.
That if nothing else guarantees a Baltimore outright win, I don't know what it is. Tennessee, Pittsburgh, two very frustrating teams to try to figure out. Scott, we're still having a conversation about Pittsburgh being relevant. They're 6-6-1. They're still in it.
We have to, because they almost made a miraculous comeback against the Vikings on Thursday Night Football. But my question is, let's just say they get run out in that game. They lose by 20. So they still lose the game. They just don't have the miraculous, fourth quarter shenanigans. What's the spread? Tennessee favored in this game?
No, Pittsburgh 1.5.
No, I'm saying if Pittsburgh lost that Minnesota game by 20.
Oh.
Is Tennessee favored?
I think
they
so.
are.
I think they are. I know it's tough to be favored in Pittsburgh, but I think that's probably the case. If that game would have held without them coming back like that, was that an aberration, or was that a harbinger of better things to come, where they figured something out, or was that
we saw the same thing against Baltimore? They won the game against Baltimore, but they did nothing offensively until the fourth quarter. So my favorite play would probably be Titans first half, because you've seen Pittsburgh do nothing offensively for the first half of the last month and change. But it really looks like a good spot for the Steelers to bounce back. But Tennessee continues to be disrespected, and they win all the time. I'm going Tennessee. At least I know what I'm getting.
Yeah, this is a Tennessee team. You're like, if you were to ask, like, what's Tennessee's record? You got, I don't know, 7-6, 6-7, something like that. No, they're 9-4. They're 8-5 against the number. You're right. There's a lot of hate for this team. Everybody just wrote them off after Derrick Henry got hurt, and they haven't played.
I think it was after they lost to the Texans, but yes, I mean that's kind of when they officially wrote them off.
Well, that was
the Jets and the Texans in the same year. Nobody takes you seriously.
And that was a weird game, because Derrick Henry, the first game that he was out was that Rams game. And it was probably their best game of the season, as they went out and dominated the Rams. Then they snuck past New Orleans and then absolutely shit the bed against the Texans. And in New England 2 weeks in a row, everybody wrote them off. And they did what they're supposed to do. They came back and dominated Jacksonville last week.
So, is TJ Watt playing? Because I know he left the Minnesota game early. Has he officially been ruled out? Is he questionable? I think he's questionable as far as I remember.
Let me see what we got here. Let me go to the Pittsburgh injuries. TJ Watt, probable.
Oh, okay.
And they've been relatively unhit by the disease. Joe Hayden is questionable. Ebron's out, of course. Buggs is questionable. Highsmith and Spillane are both probable. Yeah, they're going to be pretty healthy on defense.
All right. So that's probably why they're favored in this spot. Tannehill's also towards the league leaders in interceptions, so you might expect a couple of awful throws by him. Give me the under, and give me a Vrabel team that I don't even know. I just think is better coached than Tomlin's team. I mean, you know my thoughts on Tomlin. They're well documented.
Well documented. Tennessee going to be a little weak on the defensive side. They are going to have Crookshank.
Do you need to be strong on the defensive side against Pittsburgh?
Yeah, you sit your cornerbacks down. Yeah, Janoris Jenkins is out, but again, you bring up a good point. Okay, so you've got.
I'm going to hold my nose and pick Tennessee. T-Trent said he likes the Steelers a lot. I don't blame you. I just hate this team so much, and I think Tennessee is being disrespected here.
All right. Yeah, this is a.
I like the under as my favorite play in that game, though.
I'm in no way, shape, or form going to play this game at all, just so everybody knows. But I'm gonna go the other way.
0% chance. But Rick, you're making the playoff argument that they need to win the game to stay in the playoffs. They needed that Minnesota game to also stay in the playoffs, and they trailed by 20 at the half. So you can always try to use motivation as an angle. When it works, you're a genius. When it loses, it's bad coach prep. We saw bad coach prep with Tomlin last week. I would say they're not immune to a slow start once again on Sunday. Yep. That's my counter argument.
Okay. I've got the over. I don't think the defenses are going to be that strong in this one. I think you've got offenses that aren't fantastic, but I think they'll get a couple of breakaways. I'll give me the over 43.5.
Okay.
And where are you at? You on the under?
Under is my favorite play on the game, but I'm
Okay.
not playing anything.
If you love that one, you're going to really, really love this one. Texans at Jaguars. Jags -5, 39.5 is your total. I don't know who's coaching this. Woody Hayes? Is that who's coaching this one? Schembechler?
They do better than who's the current coach. It's Darren Bevel.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It is Darren Bevel. How could I forget? Browns backer says he'll be rooting for a Steelers loss. Yeah, fair enough.
There's a prop that I really like in this game, which doesn't help you for the sake of the show, but I really like James Robinson over in rushing yards. Because Darren Bevel said straight up, we're going to treat him like a running back 1. And I'm assuming after the Urban fiasco, one of the sub plots that was developing was the fact that he just refused to use James Robinson for some reason. And Bevel just straight up said to him, yeah, I'm pretty sure you should get more touches. So I think you'll see a lot of touches from Robinson in this game. Do I really want to lay 5.5 with Jacksonville? I really like the F. Urban Meyer type of game where you're just hoping that they, they win one for the zipper. Just for the new coach. But I'm taking Houston. I'm taking Houston. 5.5 is too many points for me. And I like the over in this game. I think you'll actually see points. Both defenses are not very good. I think you'll see points. No. And I do think if you want to take Jacksonville and you want to lay 5.5, I get Urban Meyer was an awful coach. Are we sure Bevel can coach? Just saying. Are we sure that he's actually, if he has any idea what he's doing out there? I don't know. So I'll take Houston plus the points, and I'll take the over.
Well, okay. So that's down to 4.5 in most spots now.
Okay.
And that's a substantial change because I did this sheet not too long ago. So
you saw 5.5, right?
Huh?
You saw 5.5 when you did the sheet, right?
No, I saw 5s. I didn't see 5.5 anymore. But I'm going to I think this is going to be a free at last game for the Jaguars. I think they are going to go out there with their toes tapping and have a lot of fun, and they're gonna win this one. It's definitely an FU Urban Meyer game. I'm laying the Jags. That's reason number 1. Reason number 2, I wouldn't touch the Texans with your deck. This is just
I don't blame you.
Dreadful football team, and I know the Jaguars.
This is the toilet bowl of the week, but I'm expecting both terrible teams to find a way to keep it close. So, give me a terrible team to cover and the over. Does total seem low to you?
Yes, but I understand why, because the offenses are dreadful. But I'm with you. I think the defenses are dreadfuler. So I'm taking the over there too. Cards going on the road, laying 13 at the Detroit Lions, the Motor City Madmen. There, Scott.
Look at that, by the way. Another double-digit spread.
Another double-digit. Another double-digit road favorite. You don't see that very often. We're seeing it twice this week. That's kind of unusual. We split on the other one. You liked the Giants. I liked the Cowboys. This is a Cardinals. This is another box of chocolate teams. Are they actually? I'm not going to say pretenders, but are they maybe not quite as good as we thought they were in week 4 through 9?
I'll break it down the way that I have all season long. They're a good team. They're not a great team.
Okay. Are they 13 points better than the Lions?
I do think it's a good bounce back spot. You lose a game at home that you kind of need to have if you want to be the 1 seed, and you're still competing for the 1 seed. But in reality, Detroit, they had the game where they finally won one. Then they had the COVID outbreak, got killed by Denver. I faded them. That worked out well. I'm not sure how many guys are getting back from COVID number-wise, but I know that Swift is still out, of course, because he has a separate injury. I don't know is Williams back, or they're still using a 3rd and a 4th string running back?
Questionable.
Okay, so we don't know, but I'm taking Arizona. I know DeAndre Hopkins out for the year. Truth is, he was kind of a figurehead for the last month anyway. He really wasn't doing anything, so I don't think it's that big of a loss compared to what people think it is. Give me Arizona. They need a bounce-back win here. but it's mostly because Detroit's still missing players. They're still awful. It's in a dome, so weather's not a factor. Arizona, undefeated on the road. I'll take the undefeated road team.
Okay. We count money over here. One of my favorite names. What's up? You touched on it. DeAndre Swift is out for this one. I think even equal. I was going to say bigger, but equally as important. TJ Hawkinson is out as well.
Yeah, I forgot to mention him as well.
He's out for the season. Again, I despise laying double digits on the road. I just don't see a spark of life right now from the Lions. They did their thing. I thought they might have turned the corner. I had them against Denver. I thought they might step up. They did not. So I'm not saying they're dead to me, but they're mortally wounded right now. I'll take the Cardinals laying 13 on the road. That's sure to end well. As far as the total goes, I'm not sure what we're getting from the Lions. I'm taking the under.
47.5.
Yeah.
I figured this would be closer to like 44 and
43 and a half. 44.
Yeah.
Yep. Seems high to me too, buddy. Of course, that makes me worried. You got it. Falcons 49ers. It's not a double-digit spread, but it's 9. The Niners at home, 46.5 is the number there. San Francisco 49ers. Are you really 9 points better than any fucking team in the NFL? Will the real 49ers please step up, Scott? What do you think?
I am taking the points because the Niners are a psycho team. They've been better lately. Atlanta might be the worst 6-7 team of all time, but they are still 6-7, and they're 5-2 on the road, so they have been pretty good on the highway. Fun fact, though, San Francisco is 7-6 with a point differential of plus 28.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta is 6-7 with a point differential of negative 108. Negative 108, and they can be 500 after this weekend.
When they lose,
you know how hard that is to do?
They don't wait. When they lose, they don't fuck around.
Negative 108.
Don't try to be cute with Atlanta. Don't think Atlanta is going to stay close, is what you're saying. If you think Atlanta's going to lose, they ain't going to cover. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, having said that, I think Atlanta loses in a close game in this one.
So you have absolutely no data to support that?
Absolutely nothing. Besides the fact that Atlanta and a couple of those blowouts were missing Cordero Patterson. They're missing some key pieces. But I'm looking at the Niners, and I really am just concerned about what I saw in that fourth quarter against Cincinnati. I know Cincinnati's a better team than Atlanta. That's not even close. But you're blowing double-digit leads in the fourth quarter. Gould's been missing several field goals. Atlanta's randomly been okay the last couple of weeks. And Garoppolo might have been good in overtime and in the game itself against Cincinnati. I think him and Matt Ryan are comparable at this stage of Matt Ryan's career. I'm going to take Atlanta because I think that this is too many points. I think the Niners will win, but you expect them to win by more than a touchdown? I don't want to bet on that.
Okay. So Atlanta has, on the season, how many losses?
7.
How many of those games have they covered? You want to take a guess?
It's not many, if any.
It's none.
Yeah.
7 losses, 7 non-beats of the number.
They almost covered against Tampa, though. Russell Gage dropped a touchdown at the end.
So close. Yeah, that happens. So, anywho, no. I don't think the Falcons are going to win. And I think we almost have enough data to make a prediction that if they're not going to win, they're not going to cover. I've got the Falcons. I'll give you the 49ers. You can lay the 9 points. Or excuse me, the other way around. Sorry, buddy. You've got the Falcons. You can take the 9 points. And I will happily hand them to you, thinking it's not nearly enough. As far as the total goes, I have to play the under. Yes, that is correct, sir. Got that one right.
Thank you.
All right. No problem. Do what I can. So now, because we didn't do a show this week in Denver, anybody that would listen to me normally on Denver radio for the Broncos prediction, you have to get it here. So it's going to be the Bengals traveling to Mile High. Does it seem like the Denver plays at home every week?
It feels that way, doesn't it?
It really does. I know they don't, but
I made a comment on Twitter involving another sporting event that's actually taking place tonight. I feel like Jake and Logan Paul fight every week. I feel like they have 7 boxing fights a year.
Well, I think, is it because there's 2 of them? Is that the deal?
It could be. I kind of grouped them into one person. But doesn't it feel like there's always a YouTube boxing match situation like every weekend?
Yeah.
You're never watching it, but it's on.
You're absolutely right. Detroit is lying about being a professional football team. It's funny.
That's a good one.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's a
It's
good one.
timely. Yes, it's accurate. So, does this line seem suspicious to you, Scott? The Bengals seemingly a better team,
but I'm taking Cincinnati. Jumping in. I like the Cincinnati team. It's a spot where their defense has been inconsistent, but I roasted the Niners for how they closed against the Bengals. I got to praise the Bengals for how they closed against the 49ers. Yes, I know that they ended up taking a lead in overtime and let the Niners go for a touchdown, and they ended up losing the game. But when you're down 14 points and you're able to generate enough stops and just enough actual quality plays down the stretch to win games, if the game is close, let's say it's a 3-point game, Denver's winning, or even if it's a tie game, who do you trust more in the fourth quarter, Joe Burrow or Teddy Bridgewater?
I know the correct answer you want me to say is Burrow, but
I think
it's
Burrow.
Sure.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take Cincinnati.
They're relatively healthy.
You're getting points. It's really tough to not like the Bengals getting 3 when Denver isn't a team that really wins by margin that often. They beat Detroit, but I don't know if that really matters. Against a good team, I'm not picking Denver to win by more than a field goal. I can't do it.
I'm trying to see who's out. So they're going to be missing the Taco again. Callahan.
Well, Mixon's been banged up, but I don't think he's officially out for this game.
No, I'm talking about Denver. No, Mixon.
I'm talking about Cincy.
No, Mixon's not even on the injury report.
Yeah, I'm saying he was banged up a little bit, but he's not in danger of missing a game or anything. So I'll take Cincinnati.
All right, I'll go the other way. Cincinnati's been disappointing lately. I loved this team, Scott. I'm not going to lie, and they've let me down. Broncos have been surprisingly good on occasion, and then they shit the bed and show their true colors. But they're right in these two teams are right in the thick of it. This is another kind of an underrated playoff atmosphere kind of game. I think Denver gets up for it, buddy. I got to tell you, I'll take the Broncos minus the 3 as far as the total goes. I think there'll be some points in this one. I really do. I'm going to take the over 44. I think that number is pretty
I like the over too.
All right. Yeah. All right. And last game on the board, Saints, Buccaneers. Buccaneers, our last double-digit favorite of the weekend. 11.5 down there at the Pirate Ship. What?
Fantastic. Another double-digit spread to wrap it up.
45.5 is the number. Rick likes the Bengals money line, by the way. We count money likes the Niners by 17. I think that's entirely possible. I really do. That's a horrible Falcons team. Scott, TB12, buddy. How old is he now? 70?
45.
Unbelievable. This Saints team, not good without Jameis Winston, my friend. Not good at all. Anything changed?
But they beat the Jets.
Congratulations.
No, they got serious problems. It's a terrible matchup for New Orleans. And now Brady has thrown a bunch of picks against New Orleans the last couple of years. So New Orleans defense has been very good against them. But the issue I have is that Tampa Bay with Vea back has been really good against the run again. And Taysom Hill can't throw the ball. So if all they're going to do is run, and Tampa is going to be good against the run, then you're expecting New Orleans to do nothing for 4 quarters.
Well, and you may not be far from correct there either, because they haven't done much.
And even against the Jets, it was 30-9 in the end, but that was a close game going into the fourth quarter. Nobody had a touchdown for the first 2.5 quarters of that game.
Yeah, it was. Congratulations if you watch this game. You watch that game. Again, this is the Saints team that's going to be missing both their tackles, which I think is still huge. Cam Jordan's going to be out for this one.
That's a big one.
I'm trying to see. The Buccaneers are going to be without Rashard Perriman. Okay, well, they might have another wide receiver or two to take care of business there. Down a quarterback, Bernard's out.
I'm just going to take Tampa at home. Even though they're kind of coasting right now to the finish line, They're still competing for the 1 seed, which is definitely anything but a certainty because you have a 3-horse race for that. And it's a revenge game because New Orleans, I don't want to say embarrassed them, but that was the game Winston got injured and they lost to Trevor Siemian. So I think it's a good bounce back spot or a good revenge spot for Tampa to take it out on a quarterback who can't throw. Give me Tampa.
Okay. Rick's a Bengals fan. He said he used to have tickets. He likes the Bengals on the money line there, Scott. So he's
welcome aboard.
He's backing you. You guys are rolling together with the Cincinnati Bengals. And all truth be told, I'd much rather see the Bengals win this game. I like the Bengals. I like that young team. I'm programmed as a Chiefs fan to hate all things Broncos. So fuck the Broncos.
If the Bengals get in the playoffs, the Steelers will not. Go Bengals.
Yeah, I'm all about that too. Although I have to tell you, as far as a team to face in the playoffs, much rather face the Broncos than the Bengals. If it came down to that.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As far as this game goes, this is a Tampa Bay team that, like I said, they're able to stop the run, and that's all that New Orleans is really going to be able to do. Vita Vea, I don't know if he's the most important person on that defense, but he's damn close to it. They've, you can make a case for Levante David or whatever. But
how many guys do you have on an actual defense that can make you relatively one-dimensional? Not many in the league.
No, and he is such a monster. He will occupy at least the guard in the center every time. He may get a guard in the center and a chip. He is a man among boys when it comes to trying to run the football. So,
yeah,
I'm with you. I'm laying all 3 numbers there, bud. It's just
I'm only laying 1, I believe. Right.
As a handicapper, I'll tell you what, it's not somewhere you want to be. It's you don't want to be laying 3 double-digit numbers. It just landed that way. I'm sure at least one of them, if not both,
I'm laying 3 of the 4.
Is there 4?
I think there was because Buffalo, I got.
Oh yeah.
I got the Giants, I got Arizona, and I got Tampa. So there's 4.
Yeah, you faded me on the Cowboys.
Yeah, but I got the other 3.
Okay. Yeah. That's probably not going to end well, but we'll see. Not a fan. My dad forced me to go with him. It sounds like
I do like the under in this game, though. I don't think New Orleans is going to score. What are they supposed to do? And New Orleans' defense has given Brady problems. I think Brady will look better, but I do acknowledge that New Orleans has had a decent game plan for Brady the last couple of years. I don't think he's going to look sharp. I think he'll do enough to win the game. But if you're penciling in New Orleans for 14 points, maybe even less in this spot, don't you have to take the under?
I think you do because you've got a team that played 2 good defenses in Dallas and Buffalo. When the Saints faced them, they put up 23 points combined. So they put up 30 on the Jets. They put up 29 on Philly. Congratulations. So as far as the points go, I think 17 is probably the ceiling for the Saints in that one. Do the Bucks get to 30?
They could. I just think that New Orleans, whether they score or not, is going to eat up clock because they don't generate many big plays. And Tampa's also not exactly a quick strike offense. They can be at times, but for the most part, a lot of checkdowns to Fournette, a lot of short passes, a lot of long drives.
Yeah, agreed. Okay. So we've both got the Bucks and we both had the under there. All right, man. Well, now it is time. We've saved it for the end, Scott. Let's do it, shall we? Get ready for our 5,000 star whale play. Fade the Public Sharps 1 million unit lock of the century. All right, buddy. Well, you're doing such a great job. Walk it off.
So, looking at a matchup between the Giants and the Cowboys, my play is going to be the Cowboys team total under 28.5 at minus 115 on BetMGM. Dallas has scored less than 28 points in 3 of its last 4 games. Plus, it is worth mentioning, Dallas has scored 27 points in its last 2 games against the Saints and Washington. Both those games involved the defensive touchdown. So you're looking at a situation where the offense has been an absolute mess because Dak clearly is below 100%. The defense can score occasionally, but you can't really you can't assume there's going to be a defensive touchdown. I think that there's a good chance the Giants defense at home looks better than people expect against this Cowboys offense, which really has no running game at all at this point, and Dak is below 100%. Plus, the Giants, they got killed by the Chargers last week, but they've allowed less than 21 points in 5 of their last 7 games, and you're also expecting a lot of wind. 15-mile-per-hour winds, I think it should affect the passing game, and Dallas, with the banged-up running backs that they have, I think is going to struggle offensively. Now, I'm not picking the Giants to win the game, but I do think if the Cowboys win, they should top out at around 27. 28.5 sounds a bit high to me.
All right. Very good. Very good. I've got you down the Dallas team total under 28.5. Scott, I am going to fade the ghost of Urban Meyer. I think it's that big of a deal in Jacksonville, and I really, really like the Jags minus the points this week. Plus, again, I can't stress this enough how bad the Texans are. They are an awful, dreadful football team. I have no use for them whatsoever. The Jaguars, remember that team that beat the Bills 9-6? That team shows up, except they actually put some points on the board this time. Give me the Urban Meyerless Jacksonville Jaguars minus the 4.5. That is my favorite play of the week.
Scott, the issue that you have is the fact that the Lions can't turn a corner because they're trapped in a circle.
Is that it?
That's the issue the Lions are in.
Okay, fair enough.
There you go.
T-Train says, enjoy the weekend. Secretary of War will be home soon. Nice. Hey, we got a week to go. I hope you fuckers got your Christmas shopping done. Scott, you get a pass on this one. I've still got a little bit to do, but the main things have been procured. So that's going to do it for us for this week, for this show, for this day. Hey, you guys, thanks for checking us out, man. We got this is like the most live viewers we've ever had on the NFL show. So thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for joining us. Good luck on all of your plays this weekend. NFL, bowl games, NBA. God bless you if you got the big brass ones to bet on the NBA this weekend, and college basketball, hockey, whatever it is. You guys have a blast. Thanks for being here. We'll see you Monday, and come back and check us out then, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, as we once again will try to head back to the window.